शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। Om. Dear friends, in the last episode we were seeing Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. They spent their first night in the jungle, and on the next morning they were planning to cross the river, say Ganga. So that is where we were. On the previous night, Guha, you know, the tribal king, that he was actually guarding, and Lakshmana, of course, Lakshmana kept awake. He did not leave the entire guard duty to Guha. He kept awake. And on the next morning, Rama said, okay, let us move. Then Lakshmana summoned both Guha and Sumantra. He told them. Guha immediately got a boat ready. And Guha, he said, Nauriyam Purusha Vyagra Shighram Aroha Suvrata. We were in this 52nd Sarga. And where Lakshmana, Guha was telling Rama, oh my dear sir, this boat is ready. Now is that boat is ready. Please get in. Of course, I was also referring to the Adhyatma Ramayana. Adhyatma Ramayana, you see. In that Adhyatma Ramayana, Guha is almost like a servant, and then who is almost like a very, very ordinary tribal and a servant to Rama. But here in Valmiki Ramayana, Valmiki is portraying him almost as an equal. Guha actually, he himself comes and hugs Rama. Unless he is a person of same stature, he will not do that. So Guha again, he says, there in Adhyatma Ramayana, he says, you see, oh my dear sir, earlier you stepped onto a stone and the stone turned into a woman. So now that if you step onto my, say, boat, it may turn into a woman. It will be, I will be saddled with one more wife and I will lose my livelihood. So that is what he was saying there. But here, he is not saying anything like that. So there he says, no, I will wash your feet first and then you get in. So of course here he simply says, Nauriyam Purushavyagra, O Purushavyagra, O tiger among men, this is the boat which is ready, you please get in. So then Rama, he gets ready with his bows, arrows, quivers and all that, he tries all those things. Kalapan, Sannahya, Khadgau, Badhva, all the swords and all the things they packed. And then Sumantra, you see, Sumantra cannot cross the river because he has come in a chariot, and that the chariot cannot cross Ganges. It is not a small ordinary rivulet. So earlier they had crossed some small rivulets and came, but not Ganges. So Sumantra, now he knows that he has to seek instructions from Rama. So he says, oh, what are the orders for me? Then Rama touches him very lovingly, and he says, no, you please return to the king and tell our news, and our duty is we have to get into the jungle. But Sumantra did not want to go. Sumantra refuses to go, and then he cries, okay, you are doing such a great thing. Nobody will do such a great sacrifice. So he starts like that. But Rama again continues to convince him, you see, there is no better friend than you to Dasharatha. You see, Ikshvakunam Tvayatulyam Suhrudam Nopalakshaye. 22nd sloka. Tvayatulyam Suhrudam Nopalakshaye. I don't see a friend who is as dear to you. As much a friend, such a strong friend. I don't see anybody. You are a very strong friend of the king. And now the king is actually in a distressed condition. King is rather distressed condition. It is your duty to assist him. Not only that, the king is now almost under the control of this Kaikeyi. Kaikeya priyakamartham karyam tat avikangshaya. And he may be issuing orders on behalf of Kaikeyi. Oh, you do this, my queen wants this. So you please obey all those things and then see that they are properly executed, because the king will be angry otherwise. And he says, and you see, convey our salutations to all the people. He also conveys all the regards, you see. Anyascha Devi Sahita Kaikeyim cha punah punaha. Convey my regards to Kaikeyi again and again. Arogyam Bruhi Kausalyam. And also ask about the health of Kausalya and Sumitra. Convey my Padabhivandanam, my salutations on their feet. And also convey to Bharata. What is the message to Bharata? Bharataschapi Vaktavyaha. He should be told like this. What? Yathacha tava Kaikeyi Sumitracha Avisheshatah Tathaiva Devi Kausalya Mama Mata Avisheshatah. You see, you please treat my mother like your mother only. My mother and also Sumitra, you please treat as your mother only. Take care of Kausalya. And he also says, you see, ruling a kingdom is a very great opportunity. So long as you are not anybody, you are not a boss, you can't show your merit. When you are a boss, then there is an opportunity for you to show your merit, isn't it? When you are nobody, then you have no chance to show your merit. But when you are a boss, you have got a great opportunity. So that is what he says. Ruling a kingdom, you have now got an empire. It is a great opportunity for following dharma. And by following dharma, you will gain both iham and param. You will gain fame in this world, you will gain respect from the people, plus you will also attain heaven. Lokayohu ubhayoshakyam nityada sukham edhitum. You will attain happiness both in this world and in the next world. It's a great opportunity for you. But then with all that, Sumantra is still unwilling to go. He says, no. He says, oh no, I am telling you with all my heart. Say very, very sincerely I am saying. Not because, not for formality's sake. So for example, for formality's sake we say certain things now and then. We don't really mean them. Okay, suppose you are taking leave of somebody. No, I want to be here only. I don't want to go, but still there is something like that. You see, formality. So he says, Yadaham nopacharena bruyam, na upacharena bruyam. 38th sloka. Snehad aviklavam. You see, I am telling you from the bottom of my heart, not in a very, very diplomatic fashion. You see, the diplomats, they have to use a very, very balanced language, you see. With the higher, for example, an ordinary man can just speak out his heart. But the higher you go, the more balanced you have to be in your, conversation, the more balanced you have to be in your, way of expression. You have to choose your words, and use the words. So that is the problem. Particularly, you say in all this, diplomatic language, if you see, the language of diplomacy, if you see, it is very difficult to understand the language also. It is very difficult to understand whether the fellow is abusing you or praising you. On the face of it, it will look as though he is praising you. But internally, if you read between the lines, he is actually censoring you. So that sort of language, the higher you go, particularly in statecraft and all that, the higher you go, you have to practice it. Actually, for all the foreign service people, the language is taught how you have to tell lies, you see. So in a beautiful way. And that is the reason why a diplomat is defined as a person who lies abroad for the sake of his country. Who lies abroad means who stays abroad is one meaning, and also who tells lies abroad. So that is the type of fine tuning of language which they have to attain. But here he says, I am not doing any such fine tuning. I am just speaking out my heart, you see. Bhaktimaniti tattavat. I am your devotee. Bhaktiman, I am your devotee. Just please listen to me. And he says, you see, how can I go back? How can I go back to the city? You see, now when we came out of the city, we all came. Now if I go back, I am just going alone with the chariot. And what will be the mood of the people? It is like seeing somebody going to the battlefield. A hero is going to the battlefield, and an empty chariot is returning. What will the people think? The people will cry. So that is what will happen to the people. When the hero dies and the charioteer alone returns, how will the people feel? So that is what people will feel. And what should I tell Kausalya? And how can I tell Kausalya, you see? How can I tell Kausalya that I have left you in the forest? I can't tell a lie that I have left you somewhere in your maternal uncle's place, you see. Aham cha kimchapi vashyami. Nitosau matulakulam. Nitosau matulakulam means no, don't worry, I have left him in his father, in your, in his mother, what is this, uncle's place or something like that. I can't tell a lie. And I can't tell the truth also. I can't tell the truth that I have left you in this tough jungle. So permit me to come along, and if you reject, I am going to die here. So that is what he says. And he continues to say somewhat like that, a few more slokas, many slokas I am skipping. And he finally says, Bhrutyavatsala Tishtamtam Bhartruputra Gate Pathi. That is 58th sloka. Bhrutyavatsala. He addresses him, Bhrutyavatsala. You are somebody who takes care of the Bhrutyas. Bhrutya means a servant. servant or somebody who is an attendant, somebody who is your assistant. Bhrutya Vatsala. Vatsala, in fact, one Swamiji has given a beautiful meaning. Akhandananda Saraswati, he has given a beautiful meaning in his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. Vatsa means a calf. Vatsala means a cow which has newly delivered a calf, and the calf is on the ground, lying on the ground in dust and whatnot. But the mother, with great love, it licks the entire body. It licks the entire body and cleans the body, because all that water from the womb, that placenta and all that thing is there, plus dirt is there, all the dirt, etc. The mother licks and then brings it alive. You see, of course, that calf is alive, but makes it active. You see, so that is the love of the cow to the calf. So Vatsala is somebody who loves people like that. Bhakta Vatsala, you use the word Bhakta Vatsala, a God who takes care of the devotees like that. So here Bhrutya Vatsala, a boss who is taking care of the Bhrutyas, his people like that. So Bhrutya Vatsala, I am actually following my, say Bhartruputra Padangate Sthiti. I am following my boss's son. He says, I am actually traveling with my Bhartru. Bharta is what? Lord, not husband here. Bharta, somebody is a lord or boss. My boss's son I am following. Who is that boss's son? Rama himself. I am following my boss's son. And I am doing Bhaktam Bhrutyam Sthitam Sthitya Namam Tvam Hatumarhasi. You see, I am a Bhakta, I am a Bhrutya, and I am in the right path. Sthitam Sthitya, I am in the right path. Please do not say reject me. And of course, Rama, now he has to convince him very, very, very strongly. You see, I know your great devotion, he says, but you please understand why I am sending you back. Because Kaikeyi pratyayam gachet iti Ramo vanam gataha. You see, unless you go back, Kaikeyi may not believe that I have really gone to forest. I have taken the chariot, and then Kaikeyi may think that I have gone somewhere. There is a saying, justice should not only be done, but appear to have been done. So that is the reason why you have to do justice, but at the same time it should be known to everybody that justice has been done. If it is not known to people, then say it loses its importance, and people will not get that say message. So that is what he says, you see. Then otherwise, what Kaikeyi may actually start suspecting the king again. Rajanam Natishanketa Mithyavadi iti dharmikam. Raja is a dharmika. Raja is a person who is standing for dharma. But Kaikeyi may blame the king that he is not truthful to his word. Mithyavadi. Mithyavadi what? He is not truthful to his word. That is Mithyavadi. So my mother Kaikeyi may think like that. So now he says, my foremost desire is that Bharata has to be installed as the king. But until that happens, you see, my father will be getting that blame from Kaikeyi. And for everybody's good, for your good, for my good, and for the king's good, for the king's good, for my good, and everybody's good, you have to get back. So that is how he convinces Sumantra, and he says, and Sumantra keeps quiet. Then he turns to Guha, and Guha was also asking, you see, you as well stay here. Why should you go into the forest? You stay with us and you rule us, etc., etc. He was saying. He tells Guha, I will not stay in a place where so many people are there. I shall stay in some ashram. I will go, you see. Avasyam ashrame vasah kartavyah tadgato vidhihi. That has been the order. So that is the reason why I have to go to the interior jungle. I will not stay where people are. So get some milk. You see, jatah krutva gamishyami. Nyagrodha kshiramanayi. Nyagrodha means a banyan tree. Nyagrodha is a banyan tree. And if you cut a banyan tree, the bark with some sharp instrument, it will give a sap. That is what is the milk of the banyan. It is not exactly the milk which is drunk. It is something which is a sap. So get that milk so that I can apply it to my hair, and then I will make the matted hair. Probably in olden days, all these rishis, munis, etc., they used to take that Negrodha Kshiram only for making the Jata Juta. Probably it doesn't stink, we do not know, maybe it prevents stinking. It looks like that. Otherwise, why should they do that? If it stinks, they would not be doing it. So maybe, that Guha again gets all that Negrodha Kshiram. They apply it to their heads, and then they were shining like munis, you see. Ashobhetam Rushisamau Bhratarau. These two brothers, you see, they shone, they were looking brilliant like Muni children, you see. Then Tato Vaikhana Sammargam Asthita Saha Lakshmanaha. Then he said, from now on we are following this Vaikhana Sammargam. Vaikhanasa means Vanaprastha, what we call Vanaprastha. Vaikhanasa Muni is again a very, very old Muni, which we find in, several of our old books, you see. In Vaishnava Sampradaya, of course, there are two Sampradayas called Vaikhanasa Sampradaya and something called Pancharatra Sampradaya. Vaikhanasa Agama and Sampradaya Agama, Pancharatra Agama. Vikhanasa is the name of that old Muni. Vikhanasa, his ancestry is traced to Brahma and whatnot. So Vikhanasa's line is called Vaikhanasa. Vikhanasa's lineage is called Vaikhanasa. So they were very serious, great rishis. They were all great rishis of that Sampradaya. So we are following that Vanaprastha Ashrama. Of course, Vanaprastha Ashrama, we know that there are 4 ashramas, that is Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. These are the 4 stages in life of a human being. That is olden days, not now. So now we are straight into, ashrama system is totally changed because social change is something which is inevitable. We may follow some little bit of Vanaprastha. We may follow a little bit of, we may take a few lessons from, Brahmacharya Ashrama. Brahmacharya Ashrama, it used to be so strict in olden days. So some lessons from Brahmacharya Ashrama we can still take. Many lessons from Grihastha Ashrama we can still take. Some lessons from Vanaprastha Ashrama we can take. Lessons from Sannyasa Ashrama, if at all somebody is becoming a sannyasi, then Sannyasa Ashrama is beyond all. So one has to fully follow the rules of Sannyasa Ashrama. One has to follow the rules. There is no exemption. So like that, we can adjust according to the time also. So here this Vaikhanasa Ashram he is saying. Then he also advises the king, you are a good ruler, you please better take care of your kingdom, and wishes him farewell, bids him farewell, and they moved on to the boat. And they got into the boat, and he tells Lakshmana, you please hold the boat firmly and carefully get Sita into the boat. That is 75th shloka, you see. Sitam cha aropaya anvaksham parigruhya manasvinim. You see, navam parigruhya. You please hold the nava, because if somebody is getting into the boat, the boat will be shaking. So you have to hold the boat firmly and then ask somebody to get in. So you please hold the boat properly and then get in. Let Maithili get into the boat. So similarly, he did the same thing. Aropya Maithilim Purvam. Lakshmana enabled Sita to get into the boat, and later he also got in. And Rama also got into the boat. And Brahmavat Kshatravachaiva Jajapahitam Atmanaha. So he also did some japam. It seems it used to be the practice, it looks like that, whenever somebody crossed a particular river on a boat, they used to do some japam of a mantra. So there is the commentators have written something called Daivim Navam. There is a particular mantra. There may be some mantra in some part of the Veda, maybe Atharva Veda or some such place. Daivim Navam. This is sort of divine thing. So I am getting into it. Let us have a safe passage, something like that. Rama did that japa. And Achamyecha Yatha Shastram. So he did Achamanam and then did that mantra japam. And when the boat entered into the middle of the river, then Sita also, it seems that was also the procedure, another procedure. Madhyam tu samanuprapya, that is when they reached the middle of the river, Sita also, she prayed to Ganga. And her prayer to Ganga is also very interesting, you see. Oh Ganga, well protected by you, we will be crossing the river. So something like that, you see. This great monarch, the great person called Rama, who is the son of a great monarch, Dasharatha, along with him, we are all crossing the river. You please allow us a safe passage. And having returned safely, we will again worship you. We are going to return. And after our return, we are going to worship you again. You are the Tripathaga, you see. Tvam hi Tripathago Devi, Tripathage Devi. Hey Devi, Tvam Tripathaga. That is what, going in 3 paths, 3 pathago. That is heaven, earth and also Patala. In all the 3 worlds you are flowing. And now the interesting part is Gavam Shatasahasram cha Vastranyannam cha Peshalam. When we return, you see, I am going to donate Gavam Shatasahasram. That is 100,000 cows I am going to give as dakshina to various Brahmanebhyah Pradashyami, to Brahmins, along with good food and whatnot. And again to the river. What is the river? Suraghata Sahasrena Mamsabhuta Udanena cha Yakshyetvam Priyatam Devi Purim Punarupagata. You see, after returning to the kingdom, you see, I am going to give you Suraghata Sahasram. Sura is what? Liquor. Suraghata Sahasram is 1,000 pots of liquor I am going to offer to you, along with Mamsabhuta Odanenacha, along with a lot of meat and whatnot, I am going to give to you. So that Bali was a system which was there. Till recently it was there. Even now, Bali of course is very surreptitiously done. It is not allowed because the British, when they were ruling us, they enacted a law. That is Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act. They enacted a law. That law is enforced only against Hindus because when Hindus go and do some Bali, police will come and object. Whereas all other religions, they kill millions and millions of goats on their festival days. Anyway, that Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, there is one act which was enacted by the British. So now, of course, but surreptitiously, very secretly, some people they go and then offer to their village gods, and that where nobody sees. So anyway, here Sita is saying, I am going to offer you so many pots of liquor. This practice, of course, is there. Liquor practice is there. Even now in some of the North Indian temples, when you go to particularly Kala Bhairava temple, in fact, I also offered say a bottle of liquor, where in the Kala Bhairava temple in Ujjain, you see, Ujjain Kala Bhairava and also Kashi Kala Bhairava, you can offer liquor. There are some people who go and then they offer liquor there, and the pujari puts half the liquor there, and the remaining half bottle he gives to us as prasada. We are supposed to take it as some sort of prasada. Some people they smell it, and some people they happily drink it. That's a different thing. So this used to be the practice. So these are interesting things which we read. Then of course after that they cross the river. Then Rama tells Lakshmana, you see, now we have to be very, very alert. Only three of us are there. Whether people are around or when we are alone. Bhava samrakshanarthaya sajane vijane piva. Where there are people and where there are no people also, we have to be always alert, you see. And he says, Agrato gaccha homitre Sita tvam anugacchatu. When there is a small group of people and when they have to walk in the jungle, they have to walk in a careful way. For example, when even the army troops, they walk in the jungle, there are various formations, you see. If the army is going in a large number, the formation is different. If they are going in very small number, their formation is different. There is what is called a line formation. There is what is called an arrowhead formation. There is another formation, another flank formation. So the different formations they walk. If the number is large number of people in one flank, that flank will travel. If only small number is there, maybe about 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that, they just go in a line, one behind the other. So Rama, of course, he is also a king, so he knows all these formations, etc. So in fact, all these Suchi, Mukha, etc., we find in our books like Ramayana and also Mahabharata. So here he says, you guys, Saumitre, O Lakshmana, you walk in front, and Sita will be in the middle, and I will be guarding from behind, you see. Anyonyasya hi no raksha kartavya purushashabha. We have to guard one another, you see. And usually when the small number goes, you see, usually the front person is sort of scout, he is called a scout, and somewhere in the middle will be the leader, and behind again there is another rear guard. But here of course there is no leader. Sita is the more vulnerable person here. Sita has to be protected more. So that is the reason why, like a leader has to be protected in a group, Sita is now kept in the middle, and Rama again is doing that rear guard duty. Only 3 people are there. So they walk like that, and then Lakshmana does accordingly. Lakshmana again, he walks in front. In fact, he had told earlier also, Agrataste Gamishyami, Khanitra Pitakadhara, he was saying, Agrataste, I will be walking in front with a pickaxe and what is that, pitaka. Pitaka is what? Basket. I will be having a basket, removing all thorns, etc. I will be walking in front. So that is what he does. And they finally reached a place called Shanena Vatsan Muditan Upagamat. So they reached in a place called Vatsadesha. And there, Tau Tatra Hatva Chaturo Mahamrugan. So this, the last shloka of this say chapter, Sarga, Tau Tatra Hatva Chaturo Mahamrugan Varaha Mrishyam Prushatam Maharurum. Now of course, now we see Rama and Lakshmana, they are hunting about four say animals, big animals. What are the animals? Varaham. Varaham is a boar. Rushyam, Prushatam, Maharurum. Some kinds of different kinds of deer. Rushyam, Prushatam, Ruru. Ruru of course is another type of deer, surely. So different animals, four animals they killed. Adaya Medhyam Tvaritam Bubhukshitau Vasaya Kale Yayaturu Vanaspatim. They chose a huge tree under which they wanted to camp. Then they, after killing these say animals, four animals, they took out the Medhyam. Medhyam means when they killed animals in older days, you see, only a particular portion of the say body is taken, not the entire body. Of course, when nowadays, when you suppose you see people, when they kill a chicken, you see what do? They eat right starting from the neck, all the legs and the thigh portion, everything they eat. But if you go abroad, they throw away all these leg portions. They throw away leg portions, they eat only chicken breast. Similarly, some people they eat only certain parts of the goat, not every part of the goat. Some people they eat every part. So, but in the yajna, they used to offer only some selected portions, some parts only. I don't know what exactly were the parts. That was called Medhyam. Medhyam means that which is offered as an oblation into the fire. That is what is Medhyam. Amedhyam is something which cannot be offered as an oblation into the fire. So Medhya is something which can be offered. That means that is a part which is considered to be sacred. Maybe some heart portion or some such portion. I am not sure. So Adaya Medhyam Tvaritam Bhuchito. Even lions they do the same, you see. Lion, if it kills an animal, it takes only a part of the flesh and not the entire flesh from thighs and all that. It will not take. So similarly, people also probably used to do the same. So of course, this we have to see with a rather open mind, because many people would like many people may be alarmed to see that Rama has killed some animals and then Rama ate some and whatnot. Because we have in our mind that, oh, Rama is a god and Lakshmana is a god, Sita is a goddess and whatnot, and then if you say that Rama killed animals and whatnot, they may find it rather revolting or alarming. But Valmiki has portrayed them as pure human beings and Kshatriyas. Rama was a Kshatriya, and Kshatriyas, they ate all these things. And Kshatriya was also a person who was entitled for yajna. They were entitled to know Vedas. They knew Vedas. In fact, some of them, if you read Upanishads, some of the Atma Vidya, in fact, some portions of Atma Vidya was actually with the Kshatriyas only, and the Brahmanas, they went and learned from them. That is also you see in Upanishads. So Kshatriyas, they were also repositories of knowledge, and at the same, they were also doing yajnas. The Brahmanas, they were actually chanting mantras, but then the Yajamani was the Kshatriya, and in that yajna they used to offer these animals, etc. This is something which we have to see. And another thing which we have to notice, some people they say, oh, this Ramayana, this is an interpolation, that is somebody has interpolated, etc. If our people wanted to do these interpolations and editions, they could have removed all these things. If somebody wanted to do some sort of edition and whatnot, they could have removed certain uncomfortable positions, and we could have made Rama a vegetarian Rama. So, but luckily, you see, our people's approach to text is that text is something which is very, very sacred. Our people, they considered the text very, very sacred. They did not alter any text. They keep, in fact, if you take Mahabharata, there are very uncomfortable shlokas there. Ramayana, there are very uncomfortable shlokas, which modern people, they may not like. But then our people had such great reverence. Maybe some people may give a totally different meaning. Suppose instead of, if you say that goat, for the word aja, instead of saying goat, you can say that it is some type of sweet, it is some type of rasagulla or something like that. There are people who have given some such interpretations. When clearly the text is saying that they killed a goat and then they took out the heart portion and then some other portion, our people will say, no, that it is not goat, it is actually some sort of rasgulla. So people can say like that, but they did not alter the text, they did not change the text. So this is what we have to see. So this is another, with this particular chapter concludes, and we come to the next sarga, that is 53rd sarga. In this 53rd sarga, you see, on the next morning, they are actually reviewing. No, not next morning, on the same evening only. They are just reviewing on the night. This is actually the second night in the jungle. The first night in the jungle was spent on the other side of Ganges. Now they have crossed the river and they have come to this side of the Ganges. And before nightfall, they have killed these animals, brought this flesh to the tree. Say under the tree they were camping. Now Rama is sitting and then he is reviewing, you see. Satam vruksham samasadhya sandhyam anvasya paschimam sandhyam anvasya. That is by that evening. They did that evening sandhya vandana, and that is before dinner. Before dinner they did that evening sandhya vandana. Later, of course, we have to presume that they had their dinner, whatever mamsam, whatever flesh they had, whatever meat they had brought. And now Rama is saying, you see, now both of us have to be very alert. Jagartavyam atandribhyam. Atandribhyam means without any sort of inattention. Tandra means dullness or laziness. Without any sort of laziness or dullness, we have to be very, very alert from now. And now he is just recalling what will be the situation in Ayodhya. So he is thinking, you see, king, certainly he will not be very, very happy. He will be sleeping very, very uneasily. And dukkham swapiti, Lakshmana. You see, dukkham swapiti, Raja. That is, very, very, with great difficulty, with great unease, he might be sleeping. And Kaikeyi, naturally, she would be very, very happy, you see. Sahi Devi Maharajam, Kaikeyi Rajya Karana, she got the kingdom. So she will be very, very happy. And you see, and he is now sympathizing with Dasharatha. What can that king do, you see, under the control of that Kaikeyi? Anathasya hi vruddhasya, you see, kim karishyati kamatma Kaikeyiyaha vashamagataha. That is shloka number 8. Raja, I don't know what he will do. He is under the control of that Kaikeyi. And now he says, seeing all this, when I see all this, when I review all this, I feel that Kama is something which is stronger. We have got 4 Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Among all these things, you see, of course, Moksha is only for certain very, very few people. Dharma, Artha, Kama are there for everybody. But out of these 3, this Dharma and Kama seem to be, Dharma and Artha seem to be secondary. Kama seems to be predominant. It seems to be, that seems to be the driving force for a human being. So that is what he says. It seems to be stronger, you see. Kama eva artha dharmabhyam gariyaniti mematihi. That seems to be very, very strong, you see. And he also says, you see, with that, otherwise, will any father send away a son like me? A very, very obedient son like me. Chandanuvartinam putram. Chandanuvarti means Chandanuvarti. Whatever the king was saying, I was obeying. So such a son, will anybody do that unless Kama is stronger? So that is what he says. And artha dharma uparityajya yah kama manuvartate. This is a person who gives up, or rather who gives a secondary importance to artha and dharma and pursues only Kama. He will be like Dasharatha only. He will meet the fate like Dasharatha only. Kshipram Raja Dasharathoyata. He will face the same troubles like King Dasharatha is facing. So that is probably, this is, again we see Rama is probably the first person who started this Ekapatni Vratam. We do not know, of course, earlier also they could have been there. So the King Dasharatha had about 360 wives, 360 or how many? Yeah, 360 wives, 350, yeah. Apart from these 3, queens, apart from 3 main queens, he had about 350 wives. And he had so many problems with all these things. So, Rama probably was the first person in our recorded history to have started this sort of Ekapatni Vratam. Of course, probably it was again broken by the time of, Krishna. By the time of Krishna means We see in Bhagavatam and all that we see. And Krishna again is explained as a sort of allegorical way. Krishna's stories, they are all explained in some sort of say allegorical or figurative manner. We will not go into that. So anyway, he now says, Manye Dasharatantaya Mama Pravrajanaaya. This he is now commenting on Kaikeyi for the first time, you see. This Kaikeyi, you see, she has come into our family basically to send me to forest. It looks like that. It looks as though she has come into our say family only to send me out and put Bharata there in the say on the throne. And now it looks as though Kaikeyi may even harm my mother. He says, you see, Apidanim tu Kaikeyi Saubhagya Madamodita. Now she is unchallenged. She is now absolutely no opposition. Saubhagya Madamohita. She is deluded by this Saubhagya, by this wealth and whatnot. And Kausalyam cha Sumitran cha. She may even harm this Kausalya and also Sumitra. And suddenly he says, Oh Lakshmana, why don't you go back? You go back. Ayodhyamita yevatvam kali pravisha Lakshmana. Get very early in the morning, you please get back. You please get back so that say you can take care of the mother. And he says, you see, you take care of both of them. And let my mother, and he says, let no mother get such an unfortunate son like me, he says. And that is how he laments, and then his eyes are full of tears. Etad anyaccha karunam vilapya vijane bahu. When there was nobody around, say Rama shed tears. Ashrupurna mukho dinaha. His eyes full of tears and face rather dejected. Nishit Ushnim Upavishat. He just simply sat down. And of course, we have to see why Rama told Lakshmana to get back. There are two ways of looking at it. In fact, the commentators, they explained in two ways, you see. Rama was really worried about what would happen to Kausalya and Sumitra, and he was asking Lakshmana to go away and take care of the, say, mothers. Or it can also be taken that he was trying to see how strong Lakshmana's commitment was. He was just trying to persuade, telling all these details, telling all these reasons, you see. Now Kaikeyi is alone. Kaikeyi may say harm your mother. Kaikeyi may harm my mother. You please go and take care. So telling all these reasons, he is trying to say give a sort of offer. You see, just a sort of last chance to get back. If at all Lakshmana is still wavering or his mind is vacillating, there is a sort of last chance for him to get back. So he is giving such an opportunity for him to get back. So both ways we can say understand it as we like. So that is what say we see here. And Lakshmana now replies to Rama, you see. Lakshmana is usually a very angry man. That is what we see. He is a sort of angry young man. But now and then we find him very, very sober. So here, of course, he says, he consoles Rama, you see. He consoles Rama. He says, this sort of grief, it is unbecoming. It doesn't suit you. It doesn't befit you. Naitad aupayikam Rama, na etad aupayikam. Aupayikam means it is not appropriate for you. You are such a great person. Vishadayasi Sitam cha Mam cha Purusharshabha. Oh great Purusharshabha. Oh bull among men. That is the address. You are such a great person. And when you are say, grieving, even I will become dull and Sita will become dull. We will become demoralized. So that is what he says. And he says, without you I cannot live. Without you I cannot live, just as Sita cannot live. Even earlier, of course, he had told, Lakshmana, even earlier he had told, Bharata will jolly well look after Kausalya well because of your fear. So he had told even earlier. Of course, all that he is not repeating. He simply says, without you, I cannot live just as Sita cannot live. So that means he has reassured Rama. And Rama felt reassured. He was convinced that Lakshmana was very sincerely following him. And he eagerly accepted it, and he agreed, okay, let us start this Vanaprastha ashrama. Prapadya dharmam suchiraya raghava. For a long time, that is for about 14 years, we have to be in this Vanaprastha vanam. So now that both are, there is no doubt about the commitment of Lakshmana, they were very happy. Then they moved about. Thereafter they moved like two lions on mountain slopes, writes Valmiki. You see, Yathaiva Simhau Girisanu Gocharo. Girisanu, that is on the slopes of mountains, you see lions moving very majestically. So, like those lions, they moved majestically. So, that is that Sarga ends there, that is 53rd Sarga. We come to the next Sarga, 54th Sarga. And this 54th Sarga is in the next morning. Tetu tasmin mahavrukshe ushitva rajanim shubham vimalebhyudite surye tasmad deshat pratasthire. So they camped under the tree on that night, you see. They camped under the tree, and on the very next morning they started, and then they started towards, they followed one path, you see, Yatra Bhagirathim Gangam Yamuna Vipravartate. So they went to the place where this Ganga and Yamuna were meeting. That is actually now called Triveni Sangamam, because maybe in those days Saraswati was also there. But now, that Saraswati is not seen, only Yamuna is there. Gangam, Yamuna Vipravartate. Towards that Yamuna it is moving. That they came to that place called Prayaga. Now it is called Prayaga. It is called Allahabad. Even of course, even now that Prayaga name is there, very much there. Otherwise called Allahabad. So they carefully, of course there was no city there at that time. It was only a confluence, it is only a confluence of rivers. There was no city there, and then only some Muni ashramas. And from a long distance they see all these ashramas and smoke coming out of the ashramas. It is what Rama is describing, you see. You see, Prayagam Avitah Pasya Saumitre Dhumamuttamam, all around this Prayaga. Several sages are camping there. And all these sages who were offering oblations and whatnot, the fires were rising out from the fireplaces. And at one place it was like a very huge, it was like the flag of Lord, Agni, you see. Agnehe Bhagavatah Ketum Manye Sannihito Munihi. There is one place where there was such a huge fire. It was looking like the flag of Agni Deva. And I think that is the place where sage Bharadwaja is saying. Sage Bharadwaja was a very, very mighty sage in those days. And if we see in our tradition, Bharadwaja probably seems to be a sort of ancient scientist. Bharadwaja, of course, even now there are a lot many people of this Bharadwaja Gotra, very, very popular Gotra. So this sage Bharadwaja seems to be a sort of ancient scientist, because in his name there is a book called Bharadwaja Vaimanika Shastra. Bharadwaja Vaimanika Shastra, it is there very much in black and white, and then there are certain drawings also about how, what is the shape of a Vimana. And there is a lot of description about the type of alloys. You see, for any machine to fly, it has to be light, and and it has to be strong also. And iron, etc., they are so heavy. So how to make very, very light metals? So there are certain formulae, various mulika. Mulika means various roots of trees are taken, and in those roots, in that juice of the roots, various types of metals are mixed, and then they are molten there, and with those, by the effect of that juice and all that, they become light. So many people are now experimenting. In fact, the IIT Chennai is actually doing some sort of a project, a research work on Bharadwaja Vaimanika Shastra, along with some people who are aware of these various types of roots and whatnot. They are producing some they are claiming that they have produced some alloys and whatnot. I don't know personally, but they are claiming. So anyway, Bharadwaja seems to be such a Rishi. And that is the reason why we see even in Ramayana, these Rishis, they give weapons to this Rama, Lakshmana, etc. Vishwamitra, he gave so many weapons. Probably he also had some such knowledge. So like that. So they came to that place, and Rama says, oh, surely we have come to Bharadwaja Ashrama. So they just very carefully they approached the ashrama. Gatva muhurtam adhvanam Bharadwajam upagamat. They straight away did not walk. They waited for some time, and then they slowly went near and saw the rishi and the disciples. You see, samshitavratam ekagram tapasalabdha chakshusham. You see, samshitavrataha, somebody who has done so many austerities, with all this austere discipline and all that, a person who has attained tapasa labdha chakshusham, he has attained that spiritual insight by virtue of his tapas, such a great rishi. And rishis, if we see in our books, I think I told earlier also, they exercised a sort of moral authority on a king. Now there are so many checks and balances in a democracy. Of course, in a sort of totalitarian system, there are no checks and democracies. If we go to China or some such place, or North Korea, some such place. There are dictatorships. There are no checks. But in all democracies, there are certain checks and balances. We have got judiciary on one hand, we have got some opposition party on the other, etc., etc. But in olden days, when the kings were all powerful, what was the check on them? This institution of Rishi, Muni, etc., they were the check, because they were the moral authority. These are the people who were actually commenting on the judicious nature of a person. If a king was an adharmika, these people had the moral courage, because you should have the moral courage. All said and done, it is the moral courage which gives a man an authority. If a person is, the latest example in history, if we want about moral courage is, for example, Gandhi. Gandhi, his only weapon was non-violence. That is the only weapon. That is the only weapon with which he mobilized the people. That is what attracted the people also. And no critic could say anything. No critic could say anything. Had Gandhi used violence, the British could have finished him, they could have killed him, they could have imprisoned him, they could have done anything. Because of this, they could not do anything. Because of this weapon called non-violence and non-cooperation, they could not do anything. So the rishis, they had that sort of moral authority, because the rishis, they were the people who did not have any possessions. They just stayed in the jungles. They were just doing tapas. They had no agenda to aggrandize themselves and make money. So they did not have any agenda. So they were there just giving advice to king whenever the king wanted. So he was a sort of moral authority. So that is the reason why kings, they were also very obedient to them. They respected them. So Rama very respectfully goes to them. He introduced himself and Lakshmana and Sita. And the Muni also gave them some gam, arghyam, udakam tataha. So he brought a bull and then gave to Rama as a present. And then arghyam, udakam tataha. That is shloka number 17. Arghyam, udakam, etc. he gave. And thereafter he says, Chirasya kaluka kutsya pashyam yaham upagatam. You see, I have been longing to see you for a long, long time. And after a long time, you see, my waiting has now come. It has now become fruitful. You have now come. And I heard that he also says, I heard that you have been very unjustly sent away. You have been unjustly sent to forest, you see. Vivasanam akaranam. Shrutam maya. That is, I have heard that you have been sent out very unjustly. And he says, why don't you stay here? You please stay here. Vasatviha bhavan sukham. You stay here happily in my ashrama. But Rama says, no sir. If I stay here, lot many people, they come to know that I am here. And people will be just visiting. People will be just coming to your ashram, and then there will be a big crowd here. There will be another power center, you see. When there are people who are aspiring for power, you see, those people, they will be still attracting people. It is a sort of power center. Bharata will be having a rival. Bharata will be having sleepless nights. You see, if I am here, all the people coming and seeing me, all the important visitors, all the politicians, etc., then Bharata will be having sleepless nights. So Rama very politely says, here if I stay here, lot many people will come, and that is not what I want. I have to go to the jungle. You please suggest a place where we will be alone, where no people are there. And then Rishi says, there is a place called Chitrakuta, which is about 10 kroshas away. Krosha, we do not know what is the exact measure of that krosha. Dashak krosha itastata girir yasmin nivatsyasi. There is a hillock, there is a mountain called Chitrakuta. Lot many small hillocks there. And it is such a beautiful forest, he says, 10 crores away. And there you don't find anybody except some rare munis. Some munis will be staying there. And it is a place where only Golangula Charito Vanara Riksha Nishevitaha. It is a place where only monkeys and then Riksha means bear. Monkeys and bears, they are dominant there. Only some rishis are staying, some munis, etc., they are staying there. Apart from that, there is no habitation. So that is what he says. And it is also a sacred place, you see. Lot many people, several sages, tapasa divamarudha, many people, they did tapas there. They did tapas and then they went to heaven. And that is a place which will be a very, very happy residence for you. And so that is what he suggested. They all made a night halt there, Rama, Lakshmana. They have not yet gone to Chitrakuta. So when the Muni gave this advice, okay, tomorrow morning we will go, then they all made a night halt. We will continue in the next episode. Harihi Om Tat Sat.